Good afternoon, class. We are going to cover section 3.2 today, which is the product rule. Oh, that's terrible. Product rule and the quotient rule. Last section, we talked about the sum and difference formulas, which tell us that if we have two functions and we're going to add them together and we want to differentiate them using the prime notation, all we have to do is differentiate them individually and add them. Easy peasy. So when you differentiate a polynomial, you can differentiate each term. Yes, so the derivative of the sum is equal to the sum of the derivatives. And it's the same with subtraction, right? Now the product rule is totally different. I'm going to write down what I don't want you to do when you use the product rule. If you have two functions and you're multiplying them and you want to take the derivative, do not take the derivative of the first one and multiply it by the derivative of the second one. That is not true. Don't do it. I guarantee you, you're not listening to me right now. I guarantee at least two of you are going to do that on your exam. Don't. This is not true. What's the product rule? What's it say in your book?
I didn't bring my book.
You can get out. What's it say in your book? It's written, I don't know, there's a lot of letters in the book, how it's written, right? It says f of x times g of x, and then we d dx the whole thing. That is equal to, oh my goodness, I'm going to get the order wrong and you guys are going to yell at me. Okay, that's equal to the derivative of the first times the second plus the derivative of the second times the first. Is it the derivative times the derivative? No. You should have plus signs when you use the product rule. Why is this true? I'm sure your professor did a proof in class. There's also a proof in your book. I encourage you to read it. And if you have any questions about it, I'm not going to demonstrate it now. But if you have any questions about it, please come to office hour. And that is the product rule. So let's do an example.
So I have a question.
Yes.
So with the fx and the gx, why do we write it twice? Because isn't f times g the same as g times f? Why would we take d dx of fx times gx and then do the same thing and add it to itself?
Well, good question. Okay, so here we're taking the derivative of the function f.
Okay.
Maybe I'll put some parentheses in here for you.
Oh, okay, so we do that and then we multiply it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
d dx is not a multiplication. Okay, so it's not commutative in the way multiplication is. That looks more Is that okay?
Yep.
You sure?
Yep, I got it.
All right. An example? Cool.
Yeah.
So let's say we have some function. F of x equals x times e dx. We learned the derivative of e dx in the last section. What is it?
E to the x.
Yay! Why? Just kidding. Okay, so one of the big mistakes that students make is this guy right here. Don't do it. The other mistake that students make is not knowing when to apply the product rule. We apply the product rule when we have a product, right? This is multiplication. We have one function, x, it's a polynomial, times some other function, an exponential function, e to the x. So we can apply our product rule here. So what do? We identify the first and second functions. What's our first function? X. Great. I already used f here. So I'm going to use a different letter. Don't be mad. So we'll let h of x be x. What's the second function? E to the x. So g of x is e to the x. What's the derivative of x?
1.
1. Plus c. What's the derivative of g? You guys already told me. What is
E to the x squared.
it? Marshall says e to the x squared. Who agrees? Nobody. What's the derivative?
I think it's just e to the x.
Just e to the x. Awesome. That's the magic thing about e. That's why mathematicians are like, you e. Crazy. Okay, so to take the derivative of this guy, what do? We take the derivative of the first one. So f prime of x is going to equal the derivative of the first function, which is 1, times the second function, which is e to the x, plus the derivative of the second function, which is also e to the x, times what? X. Yeah, just the first function. Cool. So there it is. That's not how they write it in your book, right? How do they write it in your book? They say, well, I got a term here that's got e to the x in it. I got a term here that's got e to the x in it. I'm going to factor out e to the x using the distributive law, and that'll give me e to the x is equal to e to the x times what? 6. So that is the product rule.
Does it matter what way we write it on a test or at homework?
Does it matter what way you write it? Yes, it matters. Be more specific.
Like if the answer is the bottom one and we wrote the top one, are we going to lose points?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a very good question. Let me check with the professor, actually. Send me an email and ask. You have to remind me. Cool. I would suspect not, but this looks much nicer, right? Mathematics is beautiful, right? This is ugly. No, we don't like it. This is pretty. Like, why does it be pretty? Any other questions about the product rule? No? I can go on to the quotient rule? Sure? Last chance. I'm never going to accept any other questions about the product rule.
Another example?
You want another example of the product rule? You make me find one. Do you have one in mind?
No.
That you'd like to see?
Maybe something with a graph?
A graph? I object.
No, but another example would be good.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's do number 3 in your book. So number 3 is f of x. Does anybody have it open? X squared minus 5x times e to the x. So the first thing we want to do is identify. So this class, right, what are we doing? We're going through the rules of calculus and we're giving you a bunch of tools. So when you're faced with a function, you say, aha, I have this tool and I can apply it to this function. So what tools do you have? You have the sum rule, the difference rule, you have the power rule, and now you have the product rule. So when you look at this function, I want you to think which tool will fit. They use a hammer, right? They use a wrench, power drill. What? What? What is this function? Identify it. What do you see?
Two things, you're multiplying the thing between the parentheses and the thing on the outside.
Totally. Totally. The basic structure of this function is we have one thing multiplied by some other thing. So which rule do we use? The product quadrats rule. Isn't it nice that they named it after like the thing that we're looking for? So the product rule says we take the derivative of the first function, multiply it by the second function, sum it with the derivative of the second function times the first one. Yeah? What's the first function?
All right, I'm going to stop you there because we're at 10